Welcome back to Dreamweaver. I'm going to use the Dreamweaver dashboard to open the file that we were just looking at online, which is home.html. The file will open in Design View. Let's take a closer look at the navigation menu. As you'll see by clicking on the icons, the words at the top of the website that are used for navigation are actually image files. You'll see that they're stored in a file called images, and that's the name of the GIF that creates the home button. That's the about button, products, order, free newsletter. They're all individual links. If Eric wants to create a new link on his website, he'll need to go back to his graphic designer in order to have the new button created. Taking a closer look at the website navigation, let's go back to the home link. So we know that the SRC, which is where the location of the image file is, that's the code for the location of the image file on our website, is set. You'll also see that the link for this button is set to home.html. So whenever somebody clicks on that link, their browser will take them to home.html. You can see the about file is set to about.html. You'll see that products does not have a link. So this file, this image, when you click on it on the website, will not go anywhere. It does not actually link to an active file on the web server. Same with order. Free newsletter will link to newsletter.html. The blog will link to the blog that's hosted on TypePad. Testimonials will link nowhere at the moment because that page has not been created. And contact will link to contact.html. So if you ever forget what page you want to modify, you can always open one of the existing pages and check the link. You can also find the file structure by going to File, Open, and viewing the files that are in your root directory. Now let's take a look at some of the body content. At the top of the page, we have the page title, which is formatted in the Properties box as Heading 1. You'll see it's the font Arial, it's 22 pixels, and it's this green color, the hex code being 86982D. You have body text, which you'll see is formatted as paragraph, Arial 14, and it's black 000000. Scrolling down, you'll see we've inserted a table that contains some bullet points. Scrolling down further, you'll see some emphasized text in green, and even further, some emphasized text in red, which is heading 4. The green text was heading 3. We have the green text again, heading 3. We have our opt-in box, and then we have the footer text, which is style 4, 10 pixels Arial black text. Now I've gone ahead and created a template file for Eric to use for updating his website with just the different elements of the content inserted for easy use. So we're going to go ahead and use this page to create the new testimonial page. We'll start with the page title. I've gone ahead and inserted some text. You'll notice that by replacing the text that's already on the page, it maintains the same formatting properties. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a mock testimonial for Eric's website. So I've inserted some text for my mock testimonial. To me, the testimonial really isn't jumping off the page, it's sort of blending in with the rest of the page. Let's see if we can do some formatting changes to help it stand out more. So I'm going to switch into Code View. We're going to scroll up to the top of the page until we see Style Type equals text/CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Now you can create a style sheet as a separate file, or you can embed it at the top of every page. So we've chosen to embed the style sheet at the top of the page. If you remember, the body text or the paragraph text was font family Arial, font size 14 pixels, and the color is black. The H1 is the heading 1 style, H2 is the heading 2, H3 is heading 3. So we're going to create a new style called dot testimonials. For ease of reference, I'm going to copy the body style. You could copy any one of them and paste it in here. I'm going to change the font family to Courier New. I'm going to leave the font size at 14 pixels and the color at black. Switching back to Design View, I'm going to click to highlight the text that is going to be my testimonial and switch the style to Testimonials. Okay, so that's a little better, but it's still not there yet. If you recall back to the introduction tutorial, we learned how to insert a table. So we're going to insert a table around the testimonial, change the table border to a different color, and change the table background to a different color to help this testimonial jump off the page. As we have our cursor where we want it, let's just hit enter to create a line break. Scroll back up to get to that blank spot. Go to Insert, Table. We're going to make it a 1-row table, 1 column. We're going to make it 75% of the available space on the page. The border thickness is fine at 1, and let's change the cell padding to 20. So that inserts the table with a gray border around it. We're going to copy and paste our testimonial text into the table. Now, what we want to do is center this table within the white space that's available on the page. To do that, we click the table border so that the table is highlighted. You'll notice in the Properties window that we have a table ID. The row is set to 1, the columns are set to 1, the width is set to 75%. The cell padding is set to 20. The alignment is default, which means it's aligned to the left of the page. We want to center it, so we'll choose the drop-down arrow and click Center. And that aligns the table within the white space that's available. If you want to align the text, you can highlight the text, go down to the Properties window, and hit Center to center align the text. I'm going to leave it as left aligned, so let's go back to left. Now, in order to change the border color from that ugly gray to a color that we prefer, I'm going to highlight the table again. I'm going to drop down to the Properties window and select the border color, and I'm going to pick a color from the color wheel that suits the coloring on this page. So let's give this color a try. Okay, perfect. If you happen to know the hex number of the border color, you can type it in here. Now, to change the background color, I'm going to highlight the table again. I'm going to choose a background color, and let's give this one a try. Perfect. That's helping that stand out much, much better. Now, we can go through the process again to create the table, or we can simply copy, highlight the table and copy it, hit enter again to create a bigger space, and paste the table in. And then all we need to do is change the text of the testimonial by typing over it.